something you gotta roll something up to. Pour you a drink, maybe drop the top, and just roll with me. Come on.
My name is Wes Jones, producer, rapper, entrepreneur, and clothing line designer for my brand Drum Life. We all know that drummers are the heartbeat of the band. So I created this show to inspire people to show love and give light to some of the biggest musicians playing for some of the biggest artists in the world today. So come hang out with me on this episode of Hi-Hats.
Got a suite at the Four Seasons with a dime piece mixed with Cuban and Puerto Rican. She never seen a nigga do it like this before. Ocean Drive in that Maybach 6-so coupe. The sun beaming through the glass roof. Louis tennis, crushed linen, diamonds glistening. Money flipping at the same time while I'm spinning.
Shining from all these diamonds, 'cause in this game it's all about grinding.
That's all it's about.
We never have to rush.
We never rush.
And staying focused is a must.
I was born to shine, to see my name in lights. There's only two ways to spread the light: to be the candle or the mirror that reflects it. Edith Wharton said it: the good fortune always favors the bold. Some game that I learned from a story I was told. From a
The biggest thing is like find your style, find your voice. It's a way to do that, because if you keep just copying, now mind you, you should know how to do what other people, like if somebody come in like with me, right, auto-tune came in and my clients didn't really use auto-tune, but I'm like, I have to know how to work this because this is dominating music, you know what I'm saying? So yes, you have to figure out what people are doing, but at the same time you gotta find your style, figuring out how to interpret the artist ain't gonna know the technical term. You know what I'm saying? So like me and Jay was doing, I forget what Pharrell record I was doing. I don't know why I get so high. It's the life, right? So like Ali was saying, I'm thinking bang the drums and hard, and that's my signature. That's my thing. We all trying to like, we grew up worshiping Dr. Dre, but then Jay walked in and he was like, oh, this ain't that type of record. It's supposed to sound, he said it's supposed to sound syrupy. And then he thought about it for a second. He said, you know what? It's supposed to sound what a dope fiend look like when they high leaning but don't fall all the way over. A lot of like Freeway stuff is, that first Freeway album is like Just and Free catching this vibe. And then Free trusted me when we sitting there doing the records, and it's just like, that's why you'll hear at the beginning of the record, he'd be like, oh, you want me to try that Free shit, cool? That's me and him having a conversation. You know what I'm saying? That's like, yo, or if Free do a whack record, I'm like, nah, that's not it. I'm not afraid, but he was such a creative artist that he'll try anything. So you gotta sometimes tell him like, that ain't it, bro. You know what I mean?
My question is, or kind of a comment, or want to get your input on it, how well is the recording process or the artist being great vocally part of the mix? Because I record client after client. Some people make the equipment sound great. Some of them have just that voice that they got it. Like,
I mean, first of all, the song is the song, right? You need a great song. No amount of mixing is gonna fix a bad song, right? The song gotta be good, but you might want to try, like if you're saying technically like that the person doesn't sound good on the equipment, then you might have to change certain things. You see what I mean? Like not everybody sound good on every microphone. Clap it up for yourselves. Clap it up for the young guru.
My name is RJ Williams. We're from Pittsburgh.
Oh yeah, and my name is Brandon Terry.
And we heard about hi-hats from Sticks Taylor.
What do you guys think about the show?
It's pretty nice. It gives us an insight on how, drummers like Sticks and other different type of drummers, go around the world and play with different artists.
What do you guys want to be when you grow up?
Same thing. Drummers,
yeah, same
musician.
Yeah.
Any advice to any other drummers your age?
Keep practicing. Do as much as you can.
Keep God
Never
first.
stop. Yeah, keep God first. Practice.
Yeah.
Bro, whatever we can do to get with you and just see where it's at, man, and just really get some inspiration from you, bro, from the kids, see what it takes to be great, see what it takes to be a great producer, bro. Sure. I mean, we'd love to sound with you, man. You know what I'm saying? Let me know how I can help.
This game is all about time.
That's all it's about.
We never have to rush. We just keep getting that money on the hush. We gon' keep shining from all these diamonds, 'cause in this game it's all
lights. There's only two ways to spread your light: to be the candle or the mirror that reflects it. Edith Wharton said it: the good fortune always favors the bold. Some game that I learned from a story I was told.
Hey guys, Teddy Campbell here. A little bit about me. I'm from Chicago, church boy, grew up playing drums in church. Moved to LA probably almost 20 years ago. Met a guy named Ricky Minor, and the rest is history. Started doing American Idol, The Tonight Show. I toured with Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, Backstreet Boys. So many blessings. I married a wonderful woman named Tina Campbell, who's one half of Mary. My life is so much different since I moved to LA, and I owe it all to the Lord. I'm thankful. I've been playing drums my whole life, man. I played my first song in church when I was probably 4 years old. I can't say there was one person that inspired me the most to play as a child. I just know that it was a gift. Music got a hold of me, and I wanted to do it. I wanted to do it more than I wanted to do anything else. And it was a passion, it was a hunger, it was a desire, and I decided to pursue that. That's why I ended up out here in LA. But I do have some influences in my life. I would say 5 major influences. I think it's 5. Is Oscar Seaton from Chicago, who's a great drummer. Kenny Jackson, who's a keyboard player from Detroit. Ron Ellerson, who's from Chicago. Gerald Gray, who's from Chicago. And Ricky Minor, who I've been working with for the past 20 years. To be a professional musician, to be a professional drummer specifically, is you have to understand your role. A lot of us don't understand that our role is to actually drive the truck, not be the star in the band. We got to drive the train. We can't be the conductor. We got to be the one actually driving it. It's our job. Well, maybe that's not the right analogy. I just know that my job is to make everything around me thrive, to make everything around me be cohesive and come together. It's to make all of the music, from the vocals to the horn section, all sound amazing. Nobody has to worry about anything because the drum chair is consistent. I'm locked in. I care about the music. I care about the artist. I care about everybody that's in the band with me. It's not about me. I'm not trying to shine. I want to let everybody else shine. That's number one. Number two is you got to understand, if you're making money, you got to understand what to do with the money. What's more important with the money that you make? Is it looking good? Is it perception? Was it actually taking care of your responsibilities, the things that you need to do? Having a place to live, having food to eat, knowing what you should invest in, knowing how you should spend it, knowing if you should save it or if you should give it away. Not hoarding it all for yourself, all about you. Just really getting some help, some understanding on how to make wise choices with finances. A lot of us don't understand and know because we didn't grow up with money. So somebody that has money and used to managing money needs to teach us what that looks like. And then you gotta understand what's in your heart too. I always recommend people deal with your heart. What's in there? What's driving you? What are you trying to accomplish? And why? What's in your heart? Deal with what's in your heart, because out of it flows the issues of life. You got to get down into your heart and see what it is that you want to do with your money, what it is you want to do with your career, and allow God to expose that part of you so that you ain't out here wilding out like I did, spending all my money on my back. I don't do that no more. I was on a reality show on WeTV called Mary Mary. And Drum Life came into the picture before that even happened. And I was just wearing it because I was about that drum life. I love the shirt. I love what it was saying. I love my relationship that I had with you guys before you even start doing hi-hats. And I encouraged everybody on the show to wear the stuff. Warren Campbell was a producer and was on the show as well. He actually started off playing drums, so he loved wearing it just because he's a drummer as well as a keyboard player, bass player, producer, and all of that. We had our wives wearing it because, you know, as we lead them, they follow. So it all worked out. It It all worked out. It's a beautiful relationship, and I'm glad that we're continuing the relationship right now with hi-hats. All of you newcomers, all of you young blazers out there killing on your instrument, I want you guys to really understand why you do what you do. What's your why? If you know your why, you won't lose your way. You gotta know why you're doing it. You can't be just to be fly, just to be seen, just to be popular, just to be noticed. You gotta have a purpose in what you're doing. Because I'm a Christian, everything that I do revolves around Christ. If I'm playing drums and I'm doing whatever it is that I'm doing on that stage or in the studio or whatever it is that I'm doing, I want people to be able to see Jesus. Period. He's done so much for me. I can't take credit for none of this that I'm doing. It's all him. That's the purpose. That's why I do what I do. He gave me the gift, so I need to give the gift back to him. So understand your why. If you're not understanding who you are and what you're doing, why you're doing it, get to know that. Want to desire why you do what you do. Find a purpose. Find a purpose. But if you have a purpose, nobody can take that away from you. No matter what happens with the industry as it goes up and down, people call you, people don't. If you have a purpose, your purpose will drive you beyond people calling you or not. My purpose is God, and he will never fail me. Period. So if I do it for his glory, I do it for his honor, he's gonna take care of me. That's why I do what I do. And I don't have to look for no blessing because he's always gonna continue to provide for me. So I hopefully you understand that and that registers with you, so you understand that that has to be your purpose, that has to be your why. Because if you know your why, you won't lose your way.
What's up, everybody? My name is Tiffany. I go by the name of Tiffany Worldwide. I started playing the drums at the age of 18 when I graduated from high school. I've been playing drums now over 10 years professionally. I work with Tina Arnold, Arnex, Climax, Beyonce, and many more others in the music entertainment industry. Currently, I just got off the road with Shaw Productions doing a residency in Dubai. I live here in California, and I love music. I love playing drums, and I'm just here to share my story and inspire other women and other musicians to keep playing the drums, keep the music alive, and do what you love. You know what I'm saying? Do what you love, give it your all, be passionate about whatever it is you do, and the best is yet to come. I look forward to meeting you and seeing you all soon. In 2016, I was given the opportunity and platform to work with Beyonce during the 2016 Super Bowl, and that platform, I believe, propelled my career to a level of excellence, meaning practice, rehearsals, skill wise, just working with different artists, being on television. So I think that developed my skill wise as far as like being in a very, very, very high professional setting. That's a great question. I feel like as a woman, we're looked upon as maybe hitting softer. So when you hear a powerhouse girl drummer or female drummer, it's very, I guess, different. So a lot of people expect one thing, but then you're playing another way. So I think you just have to play to your own style, and you'll be picked up by an artist or a band that will appreciate and value what you bring to the table. So I believe it is different sounds and different styles for each artist, and dynamics is very important. Well, in life, I believe there's always challenges. It's how you view and your perception to overcome whatever challenges it is that you face, whether it be in music or engineering, there's always something. So I would just say, develop your skill, hone in on your craft, practice all the time. You're always going to have challenges to where the music is going to change, or the industry is going to change. But as long as you're doing your part, you will be able to stay and flow with the time. I just feel like everyone should hone in on their craft, practice all the time, give it 1,000%. Someone is looking for you as well as you looking for that opportunity. And when you meet that opportunity, you'll be ready. That's a great question. The greatest drummer of all time. I believe we're all great. So you, as yourself, you're the greatest drummer of all time, and I'm the greatest of all time. So while we're here, let's share and give our gift back to the world. Is it impossible? Well, currently I'm not married, so I can't answer that question. But I feel like if you love what you're doing and the person that you're with loves what you're doing, I don't believe it's impossible. I just haven't met that person yet.
So it's actually right over here. And we're right here, so you want to go outside?
Man, lucky bastard gets a carpet. Right. Right. He's got a slump. Right. Yeah, look. Check us out, bro. Appreciate it, man. Take it for you, too. All right. I'll let you yesterday. What's up, man? I'm going to see you again, bro. Absolutely. So I would love to just do something with you, bro, and see what I was here right now. But I would love to, man. I'm about to do something. All right, cool. Let's do it. All right. Okay, for sure. My name is Brian Fraser Moore. I'm from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, born and raised East Coast, and I'm a professional drummer. I think it was the age I was maybe 5 years old when I got involved with drumming in church. My mom made me play. Hurry up, get on the drums. We got a choir you got to play for, so I was a very young kid starting out. Growing up, my favorite genre of music was gospel because that's all I knew, until me and Little John Roberts sat in a room and listened to Chick Corea, and that was a rude awakening to a whole nother world that I had no idea about. Listening to that music, bro, it woke up a lot of things I didn't know were inside of me. It told me that there was no restrictions, there were no boundaries, and so it helped my creativity just expand more and more. It's like freedom. I think I was on Janet Jackson, All For You tour, and that's when I realized that triggering sounds was coming into play. Jimmy Jam gave me a handful of sounds and said, here you go. And then that's when I realized this whole drumming thing is going to flip someday soon, and now look where we are. A Kai Z8 was the brain, and the drum cat was the controller. And you had to have a PC in order to run the program on your computer. That's how old that was. I got my foot in the door. He was actually here earlier. His name is Johnny Kroom and Stacy McGee. And those were the guys I would play around town in Philadelphia, and then they would say, hey, we want you to come and play for this, and they brought me onto Aaliyah and Genuine, and that's how it started. Even before that, Jazzy Jeff, Touch of Jazz Studios is kind of where I started getting into professional work. That was my hustle. That was my main hustle. I needed everybody in Philadelphia to know who I was, whether they liked me or not. I needed everybody in the city to know who I was. So studios, Larry Gold's, Touch of Jazz, the Milk Bar, gospel, every single thing I dove into and tried to be a part of. The social media thing, man, I'm a wolf with that thing. So I'm always promoting companies and encouraging people. So I think if I had that back in the day, I don't know where I would be right now. I'll be much further than I am business-wise. But hey, here we are. So working with Justin Timberlake, first of all, is incredible because he's a great guy, very down to earth. He's a musician, so that always helps. But I started playing with him. I don't know if you remember Fish. Fish was the drummer for Justin Timberlake, and so he couldn't do the rest of an Australian run. And so I came in and did it. And then years later, Adam Blackstone got the phone call and then brought him in. So, and also Justin put in a good word for me to get Madonna. He was a crucial part in me playing with Madonna. It's all about the spirit. So if I'm in a club, I'm going to adjust to that spirit of the club. If I'm in a stadium, I'm going to adjust to that spirit. So it's really, to me, about the spirit. But I'm still going to give my same effort, my same excellence that I'm going to give regardless. But it's just about the spirit. It's just the room that changed. You know what I mean? There's one thing that I've noticed getting older in my career is to relax, to let it come to you, to lose yourself in the music, to open yourself up to feel what that music is saying to you. And we can say, yeah, do double strokes. We can say, yeah, practice these, practice that. But I'm a firm believer that it's really all about the spirit. It's about the energy that you give to those people that's listening. So relax and enjoy it. If there's a big vamp part, then I feel like I'm in the wilderness, chopping down trees or something. I put it into a visual aspect, and it helps me to feel it a little more better. Live music is important because it's more than just music. It's the cure to our everyday trials. It's what I revert to when my kids get on my nerves. When the wife gives on the husband's nerves, he goes and listens to it. It's more than just playing it. It's an antidote to life. It's necessary. So everybody wants it. Everybody wants to feel it. The person that's not musical wants to feel it. The person that's super musical wants to explore it more. It's a cure for life. Listen, to anybody out there who feels stuck, who feels like they can't make a way and get to the stage you want, don't stop. Push. And after you finish pushing, push some more. And then after you finish pushing, push 20 times more. Make it a personal thing with you that nobody can stop what you do, because you can do it. If I can do it, if some of my brothers can do it, you can do it. Just don't stop and push yourself to limits that you never knew that you had. Branding, reaching out to other people, making relationships, being a nice person. All of these things come into play, so you can do it. Branding and being branded as a musician, let's think about it. LeBron James is one of the best basketball players in the world. LeBron James is one of the best basketball players in the world with this endorsement deal, with this endorsement deal, with that. So it's pub. For those who feel stuck in your city, you brand so that your brand can make room for you and expand your talent. Being a musician, branding yourself, they go hand in hand. You can't have one without the other. Sponsorships, I'll give you a little insight. People say, well, the company ain't gonna do this for me, then I don't. Listen, bro, go do what you do and make the company do what they need to do. There you go. Hey, this is Brian Fraser Moore. You're watching Hi-Hats. Keep watching.
one, go one time for do one time for do. Same here, it's just a different tuning. So if you need a snare drum that's multi-purpose, I'm not just saying it. You get to hear it yourself. You get to hear the depth. To be quite honest, these are kind of maybe my favorite tunings. And now I'm going to have my brother Aaron Draper come back up again.
1, 2. 1, 2, 3.
something you gotta roll something up to. Pour you a drink, maybe drop the top, and just roll with me.